It was his last scheduled flight over Vietnam. Orson Swindle behind the controls of an F-8 Crusader, November 11, 1966. He'd already flown 205 missions over the war zone when he was shot down and captured by the North Vietnamese.
We knew we were going to be beaten down. That was a given.
Swindle would spend the next 2,305 days in captivity, a prisoner of war at the infamous Hanoi Hilton prison, cellmates with John McCain.
And we slept side by side for a couple of years, and we tried to keep track of who got in when. And I think I was number 144.
Behind the barbed wire, a filthy, rat-infested compound where the beds were cement slabs, beatings and torture were the norm, isolation and interrogations commonplace.
It never entered my mind I was going to give up.
And those who attempted escape died trying.
But you're not going to get down on yourself and quit resisting. You're going to keep going. All of us suffered from a guilt feeling that we hadn't done enough, we weren't tough enough.
The nightmare ended in early 1973 when the prisoners were lined up in a courtyard and told they'd soon be released. Only after they were loaded onto an airplane did they really believe it. The only good thing to come from the horror he experienced in Hanoi, a brotherhood among those held captive. Lifelong friendships that mirrored those of siblings, especially with the late Senator McCain, who died in 2018.
It was very personal. We were very close friends, and we had our disagreements, God knows. We'd have these vicious arguments and everything, and when we came home, it continued. He's a funny guy, so yeah, I love John.
Returning to civilian life after that many years in captivity had immense challenges.
Everything had changed. My wife and I had grown apart. We tried, but just never got it back together, and about 10 years later, we got a divorce.
Swindle wasn't done serving his country after Vietnam. He stayed in the Marine Corps, retiring as a lieutenant colonel, and was appointed Assistant Secretary of Commerce by Ronald Reagan. Now, at age 88, he's among the last Vietnam prisoners of war.
It's just one of the prices you pay for getting old.
The 52 years since his prison release has given Swindle plenty of time to think about the war, why it happened, and what went wrong.
We had a noble cause in Vietnam, and we screwed it up royally. It didn't work out. And it's sad and it's tragic because it could have worked out.